The construction released the new facts about the core rules for Age of Sigmar 3rd edition Dominion the 6th July 2023. I'll bring you only the updated parts, so the new ones. And if you're interested about the other facts, I invite you to go in the description where you can find the previous video so that you can see the previous facts. So that each time that I bring you the facts are the updated, the new ones, and so you can see the changes. So now we can begin to see about such facts. So we can scroll and see a bit, and we can find that the first one that we see it's about the part about the abilities and effect. So we can find that we have two facts here to see. So if an effect blocks visibility between two models, for example Wildwood Terrain, does it also block visibility to an end spell or a point on the battlefield, for example the spell Solar Flare? And they say yes. This it's quite interesting to understand better how it works about the visibility, so I quite like. Then we have what happens if the effect of two rules or abilities set a characteristic to a fixed value. For instance, if a Can Bright attack characteristic is set to 6 by the Eager Death Dealer's ability, but it also affected by the Crown of Dark Secrets, which sets its attack characteristic to 1, and said that this effect would be treated as simultaneous effect, as for example in the paragraph that it talked about, so 1.6.2. This means that the ability of the player whose turn is taking place would be overwritten by the opponent ability, which would apply afterward. So here we have to pay attention about, because it can be really quite problematic eventually, and we have to study about this simultaneous effect because it can change quite a lot the way that we can play with. Then we can see that a lot of things remain the same, so it's not a problem. Then we have this that it's about the attack sequence. This is something that really I think should be really thought about, and it's better to understand. So the question is, some abilities such as the Volcanic Berserk Fury ability allow models in the unit to fight before being removed from play if they are slain, and it happens to quite a lot of unit about this. When should this attack be resolved, and is there a chain reaction if two units are fighting each other and both abilities that allow models to fight before being removed from play? This is really quite important because a lot of units has such effect. So the answer is that when resolving this ability, first resolve all the attacks made by the unit picked to fight. Okay, perfect. Before removing any slain models, all models that can fight before being removed from the play can make a pile-in move. Follow the normal rules for making the pile-in move. The unit must be coherent after the move, obviously. Then they must attack. After resolving attacks from models that can fight before being removed from play, remove all slain models. And this is the base, okay? So in each phase, each unit has one opportunity to fight before being removed from play per attack unit. Thus, if two units A and B are fighting each other and both contain models that can fight before being removed from play, unit A fight, resolving the attack sequence for all their attacks that target unit B. Before remove any slain models, some models from unit B pile in and attack, and are the one that are slain from the E. Before removing any model slain from attack made in step 2, some models from unit A pile in and attack. All slain models from unit B are removed. No additional models from unit B can fight when they are slain. This is important, even if more when slain in step 3. All models from unit A are removed. So this is perfect because it says that you can only apply once. Otherwise, you had that continue to remove and so on. It could be problematic. This is something that perfectly solves any problem about such things, so I quite like such resolution. There were an adjustment about the words. So if a player makes a successful roll to negate a wound or mortal wound, and this triggers an effect that forces a wound or mortal wound to be allocated to a different unit, can an attempt be made to negate the traditional wound or mortal wound if an effect would allow a player to do so? The answer is no. Wounds and mortal wounds allocated in this way cannot be negated. So here we have really to think about, because it can change quite a lot the way to use the word, but it's also nice that has been solved in such a way. Then we can again scroll a bit. There are not a lot of new facts if you see about, and we can find this, that it's about the subfaction analysis abilities, and the only one that remains is the Patterson flash hitter course with the grand course, because it's the only one that has to be still republished, updated, and so on. So we are waiting. I'm waiting because I play also the flash hitter course and I quite like such elements anyway. So there is quite a lot of things. Then we had something that we have seen change in the scroll about the pattern scroll about the outdoor. And here, so we can find that then it's the change about the unit currency that change the number necessary. So a unit with 2 to 6 models, instead before it was 2 to 5 models. And so these are to have the currency between models, one other model of 1 inch and 6 inch vertically. Instead, if it is more than 6 models, because it changed the previous one, instead of more of 5. So this it's something that it's quite important if you're going to create some ribbons, we can call them, and you have to pay quite a lot of attention about this. They have about the lookout sir, and also here we are seeing in that battle school, the new one, and it has been added here. And here it's a change about how you can make the things. So still you must subtract from the hit roll for an attack made with a missile weapon if the target is an enemy hero within 3 inches of an enemy unit that has 3 or more models, as usual. But here change. If that hero does not have a mount, with exception of the companions, good that there is such exception, it also cannot be targeted by attacks made with missile weapons if the attacking mod is more than 12 inches away from them. So this it's really important because it distinguishes the mounted and non-mounted models, heroes. The lookout third rule does not apply if the enemy hero has a wound characteristic of 10 or more. So this is something that can completely change the way that you can approach eventually your roost or song, because you can protect eventually your ways. Then we have something new about the terrain control, and this it's really quite important. Can change to sometimes a battle plan will require that you gain control of a terrain feature. Terrain features are controlled in the same manner as an objective, except that friendly models only need to be within 3 inches of any part of the terrain feature to contest it, instead of needing to be within 6 inches of its center, because the range is different. If that terrain feature is defensible, any models carries on that terrain feature contests that terrain feature, in addition to those within 3 inches of it. In addition, unlike objectives, terrain feature does not remain under your control if there are no longer any friendly models contesting them. This we have seen something similar about the subject graveyards with the grave sites. So this is something that we can see in different ways, and it's really quite important about such to understand how you can control the things. Then we have this, that it's about the artifact power arcane tower. Also, this has been changed thanks to the new battle school, and here again we have something that changed about such one that it's quite important. So the hero does not have the wizard keyword, the wizard, priest, or corn keywords. The bear becomes a wizard that can only cast the arcane board, mystic shield, that are the basic spells, and the spells to summon and the spells on your army rooster. This is quite important. They can attempt to cast one spell in your hero phase and attempt to combine one spell in the enemy hero phase. So here it allows you to also to use those. I think that also before could be understandable. Still better to apply in such ways so that you don't have any problem about misunderstanding or so on. So as you can see, we don't have quite a lot of new facts. Still, they are really quite interesting, I think, because sometimes some of them change a bit, some of them clarify and are quite welcome. So there are a lot of things to remember about such new facts. Anyway, from Dynamod it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.